Well, today we may as well move on forward and start talking about willingness. Now, last time we talked about, under the rubric of mindfulness in acceptance and commitment therapy, we talked about the most basic mindfulness process of all, which is contact with the present moment, feeling what you're feeling in the body, seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, smelling what you're smelling, perhaps tasting what you're tasting. Today, we're going to talk about maybe the next level of abstraction in mindfulness as dissected in acceptance and commitment therapy, and that is willingness. Now, let's put a couple of distinctions in place here. Some people talk in terms of acceptance, and after all, it is acceptance and commitment therapy, and this really is the acceptance piece. But what are we talking about accepting? Are we talking about accepting external circumstances? So someone's abusing me and I should just accept that? No. Or I'm not controlling my life, I'm not scheduling my life, I'm not showing up to appointments, I'm not holding a job, and I'm not treating anyone in a reasonably human or humane sort of way, and I should just accept that. No. No. What we're talking about is accepting what we don't like that we're experiencing privately. By private, what I mean is thoughts and feelings. And really, if we want to really get a fine point on it, what we're really talking about accepting are unpleasant sensations in the body, although often we experience those as thoughts or they're in my mind. Okay, as we start refining the mindfulness process, practicing it more, we start noticing that these are unpleasant feelings in our body that come about when other people don't cooperate, other people don't behave the way they should, the way my mind says that they should. Then I feel all uncomfortable in here. I have feelings of anger, I have feelings of annoyance, I have feelings of despair, or whatever other label my mind cares to put on those sensations that are happening actually in this physical body. And the wonderful thing about it, willingness, I was going to say acceptance, but I like to call it willingness because it's a little clearer. The wonderful thing about practicing willingness is there's so much to practice with because people are just so annoying so much of the time, I find. My mind has so many expectations of them that they can disappoint my mind in a million different ways. And I can disappoint myself, or my behavior, or my mind can be disappointed with my behavior in a million different ways. And just generally disappointed in the outcome of the way the world ends up unfolding, as opposed to the way my mind says it should, it ought to. The way things should be. Okay, so that I'm having a lot of uncomfortable feelings in my body through the day, and there's so much to practice with. And the way we practice with these feelings, these sensations, these thoughts, if you like, is by making room for them. So, refraining from the universal tendency that humans have, that our minds give us, of trying to push away or somehow squelch, lessen, deaden, mute, or otherwise just get rid of those things. So, I don't know, a few videos ago, role-played with my little stuffed dog Keats playing fear, playing Living from Fear. And today I'm going to enlist this rat, whose name is Bjorn. He is a Norway rat. And he is going to play the role of discomfort, the stuff that I don't want to experience. I'd really rather not experience it, okay? So I wake up in the morning and I go out on the road and I turn on the radio, and the radio announcer is telling me about politicians doing stupid things. That's what my mind says. These are politicians doing stupid things, and it makes me angry. And I get this feeling in my throat. I don't like it. It's not the way things should be. That's what my mind's saying. And I get this feeling throughout my body. And the first thing I do, thank you, Bjorn, just bear with me. The first thing I do is try to crush that feeling. I have certain thoughts about, well, I shouldn't be feeling that way. I should be feeling a different way. Or I just don't like that. I don't want to feel that. And what happens here is not very nice, is that Bjorn here pushes back just as hard and in fact starts to take over and get right in the middle of things because I'm not willing to have these feelings, see? And if I'm not willing to have these sensations, and they could be anything, I mean, it could be my mind here. It could be my mind here saying, Joe, you are the worst businessman in the world. You're going no place. You're never gonna make any money. You've got good ideas, but your business skills suck, and you may as well give up right now. Or you're not actually even that good a therapist after all, and so forth. So when my mind says these things, Bjorn comes up here in my body, and I start having unpleasant sensations that I don't like. And then the first thing that I do intuitively is to squelch those and try to crush them. And then what happens is they take center stage. And there's not much else I can do other than struggle with these feelings. Or if I like, I could be willing to have them. And if I'm willing to have Bjorn just sort of takes his place right here. I breathe with him, make some room for him, be willing to have him, willing to have the anger, the frustration, the bad self feeling that comes about when my mind starts to me or to the other guy. And I'm going to tell you much more about all of that in future videos. That wasn't such a great wink, was it? I need a little more of a smile when I wink. Otherwise it kind of just looks like there's something in my eye or something.